The Shonen-style front-end design introduced in another video was highly regarded as a symbol of new post-war EMUs and was adopted for various vehicles. Amid the rapid economic growth after the war, which brought significant environmental changes, several new designs for JNR vehicles were born, continuing for a long time. One of these was the innovative front-end design used for the 153 series EMUs, which incorporated a passage door while differing from the conventional flat-end designs. During the time when the 80 series EMUs were actively operating on the Tokai main line, the necessity for long formations for mass transport became evident. Operations often included adding auxiliary formations to the base formation, and it was common for movement between formations to be impossible. At that time, due to the mass employment of repatriated soldiers, there was no shortage of manpower, and having multiple conductors on board posed little issue. However, gradually, the inconvenience of intertrain movement and the challenges of rationalization led to the demand for vehicles with a passageway. The 153 series EMUs were introduced in response to such requests. Initially referred to as the 90 series EMUs, they symbolized the EMUs of a new era, featuring modern drive systems and passenger room facilities. Their activity on the Tokai main line led to a shift from the initial designation as the new Shonan style to being called the Tokai style. This style became more long-lasting in JNR vehicle design compared to the Shonan style. Initially, the driving cab floor height matched the passenger compartment, and the arrangement of two large lights and large windows gave it a charming appearance. Removing the thick corner pillars, which had been standard until then, and adopting curved glass ensured good visibility. Due to the high cost of curved glass, the front incorporated flat glass with curved glass only in the corner sections, connected by thin pillars, effectively controlling cost increases. Low-positioned front windows caused high-speed rail structures like sleepers to move rapidly within the driver's lower field of vision, contributing to fatigue. Moreover, with the advent of the automobile society, level crossing accidents became a serious concern. From the perspective of ensuring crew safety, a higher driving cab position was more favorable. Despite some resistance, the cab position was raised by 30 centimeters, with the window placement adjusted accordingly, creating a sharper appearance. At this point, the basic design of the Tokai style was completed. The rational passageway and cab arrangement with an assistant seat were highly user-friendly and received positive feedback, leading to wide adoption of similar designs by private railways, particularly in the Kansai region. Following the 153 series, semi-express EMUs like the 157 series appeared. These were referred to as special semi-express EMUs, equipped with interior facilities rivaling those of the 151 series limited express EMUs, enhancing competitiveness on tourist routes. The adoption of a passageway at the front was omitted, resulting in a style closer to an evolved Shonan face. However, the curved glass adoption was the same as the 151 series, creating a hybrid style that blended the Shonan and Tokai designs. When the decision was made to develop Royal EMUs for medium-distance travel for the imperial family and foreign dignitaries, it derived from the 157 series, featuring a passageway-equipped leading car that allowed integration into the center of formations. This is how the Kura 157 appeared. Although it shared the paint scheme with the 157 series EMUs, its front-end design was created entirely in the Tokai style. Even after the 157 series family disappeared, this vehicle was never decommissioned and continued operation for a long time while integrated into other motive cars. The style, which began to solidify as the Tokai shape, was also adopted for the second generation of hydraulic limited express DMUs, the Keiha 82. At the time, limited express trains were regarded as highly luxurious to an unimaginable degree today, demanding designs that embodied dignity befitting their name. With the sophisticated bonnet style of Kodama-type EMUs gradually becoming established as the image of limited express trains, the first hydraulic limited express Keiha 81 debuted with a bonnet style. However, under conditions requiring flexible operations that took advantage of the nature of DMUs, a passage structure enabling splitting and coupling was deemed essential. Nonetheless, the passage design that made the passage door prominently visible at the front lacked the elegance required for limited express trains, being more suited for rapid services. The The design team was greatly troubled over how to maintain the dignity of a limited express while fundamentally adhering to the Tokai style. In the end, they boldly adopted large curved glass, which was too expensive to freely use at the time, and abandoned the division of front glass used for the 153 series, creating an integrated structure. Headlights were placed above the cab, with their design enhanced through improved light covers, while large mustaches were added to the lower front area to harmonize the structures like the Typhoon and headlights into an elegant design. Meanwhile, new hydraulic express vehicles were developed simultaneously, evolving naturally into designs similar to the Tokai style based on Keiha 55's designs. However, for DMUs, all cars except first-class vehicles and rapid services were planned to have cabs. Even curved glass akin to that on the 153 series, although smaller than Keiha 82, was deemed a luxury not granted for express services. Furthermore, the design struggled with almost no retreat angles allowed for the door's passage to the cab side, resulting in retreat angles being added to the window glass as a makeshift solution. Skirts were not permitted, reflecting cost-cutting measures throughout the design. Even so, careful selection of paint schemes successfully preserved the dignity of new express hydraulic DMUs. The vivid red and cream design was highly praised as it stood out beautifully on regional routes with abundant greenery and became the standard design for subsequent hydraulic express services. As AC electrification advanced, demand for AC-DC dual-mode EMUs emerged, adopting the Tokai-style design, establishing common colors for dual-mode compatibility at that time. At that time, transformers and other equipment were separated for power frequencies of 60 Hz and 50 Hz, resulting in different formats for motive cars. To distinguish the 60 Hz vehicles, cream bands were added to the lower sections of the car body. This caused inconsistencies with trailer cars in terms of design. However, later, electric equipment capable of accommodating both frequencies appeared, and these cream bands disappeared. For DC sections, the 165 series was later introduced as the successor to the 153 series EMUs. It maintained the Tokai style, with only the front paint scheme altered for distinction, solidifying the Tokai design concept. Despite the massive increase in limited express services following the 1961 timetable overhaul, limited express trains remained an inaccessible luxury for many at the time. Rapid services were the primary mode of transportation for the general public in a hurry. In the Kansai region, long formations of shonen-colored EMUs and AC-DC dual-mode express trains painted in unique colors were seen running interchangeably, creating scenes that epitomized the golden age of express EMU services. On the other hand, old pre-80 series EMUs used for local services were aging, leading to calls for their replacement with new performance EMUs. For suburban use, the AC-DC dual-mode 401 series and 421 series were introduced, also adopting the Tokai-style design. At that time, the high-driver cab version of the 153 series EMUs, 500 series, had yet to appear, resulting in vehicles resembling repainted Keiha 153 cars with large front windows. Though differing in color tone, this design had already emerged during the early days of AC electrification. The experimental AC direct drive EMU Kimoya 791, an unconventional creation, adopted the fundamental Tokai-style structure despite having a single large headlight centrally mounted above the cab. This design was later inherited by AC-DC dual-mode and AC EMUs. In Hokkaido, a newly electrified region unified under the AC system, exclusive AC EMUs were introduced, beginning with the 711 series for suburban use. Though its headlight was reduced in size through shield beam technology, the Tokai-style design persisted. Its bright red body painted with a cream apron as a caution color, matching AC locomotives, became an iconic presence symbolic of the northern land. DMUs, which began to suffer speed disparities with EMUs, saw the development of high-output engines for faster operation, resulting in the creation of prototype express vehicles. These prototypes featured designs that could be considered an advanced Tokai style. The front-end shape incorporated even more streamlined elements than the Tokai style: embedded headlights, an integrated case housing the typhoon and tail light, and solid skirts, extraordinary considerations for DMUs, making them striking designs for express service vehicles at the time. However, as the design was deemed overly intricate, it was not adopted for mass production prototypes, which were instead streamlined to create a more subdued appearance. Nevertheless, the retreat angles from the passage door to the side remained unchanged from the 153 series, and no DMUs outside of limited express use ever featured such retreat angles on their fronts. The new generation DMUs were mass-produced as the Limited Express 181 series, refining the Keiha 82 design into a form that emphasized power and speed. Meanwhile, the Express Keiha 65 DMUs were also mass-produced as part of the new generation series. Benefiting from the lower costs of curved glass, curved windows were adopted similarly to contemporaneous vehicles like the Keiha 58 series, and skirts were included. However, no retreat angles were given to the front, resulting in a continuation of flat-face designs. This style was also adopted for suburban groups like Keiha 23, and further carried over to Keiha 66 and Keiha 67, which were introduced to stimulate activity in the Kitakyushu area. The Keiha 66 and Keiha 67 featured even higher driver cab positions, raising the cab windows above those of the passage door. Though the higher driver cab gave a tightened impression, it also came across as somewhat unbalanced. These vehicles were produced in limited quantities and did not see widespread operation. Conversely, the Keiha 40 series group developed to replace aging local DMUs adopted the Keiha 66/67 style for nationwide deployment. However, to reduce painting costs, the so-called Tokyo area color unified DMUs into a single color, leading to the disappearance of the Express DMU color scheme, which became emblematic of deficit-stricken regional local lines. In terms of ambitious high-speed DMUs, the last one under JNR was the gas turbine-driven Keiha 391. Although its front-end design inherited the Keiha 82 lineage within the Tokai style, its appearance during JNR's decline lacked finesse. Featuring smaller curved glass and a front projection akin to rapid DMUs, it ended up with a modest look, possibly due to cost considerations for the prototype car. Had gas turbine vehicles been mass-produced, they could have represented the ultimate evolution of Tokai-faced limited express DMUs starting from the Keiha 82. Nevertheless, with JNR's subsequent decline and changing design priorities, this design was never passed on to later DMUs. In electric locomotives, although the front did not feature retreat angles, the Tokai style was adopted. The first-generation F-type new performance electric locomotives, EF60, incorporated curved glass. Despite the absence of passage doors and headlights mounted atop the cab like DMUs, the design broadly resembled the Tokai style. When passage doors for double-heading operations were later added, the design further resembled a Tokai face. The EF66, while adopting curved glass, presented a radically different design emphasizing groundbreaking high power and speed. In diesel locomotives, the trend shifted slightly as convex designs became mainstream, but box-like models such as DD54 and DD53 featured a design flow similar to the EF66 without curved glass. Curved glass provided excellent visibility, however, distortions in the curved sections and light reflections at night made combinations with flat glass preferable in some cases. Limited Express EMUs adopted passage-equipped designs like the 583 series after the Kodama type, where flat glass configurations became mainstream. Thus, Tokai faces, extensively used and incorporated into various vehicles during the JNR era due to their rational structure and well-organized design, continued to be adopted post-privatization. Even amidst today's dynamic designs in operation, remnants of the Tokai style can still often be observed.